Today I'm going to show you two different ways that you can clean up your guitar neck. This one's got about 20 years worth of gunk on it, and I'll clean that up in about 10 minutes, so I'll show you how. So first step is going to be take the strings off your guitar with a string winder, make it faster. And one quick way that I like to do it is blue masking tape down there on the end. Make sure the strings are loose enough so they're not putting a kink in them, but that'll save you from a lot of dicking around. Okay, so step one, a razor. Now this is a bit of a technique to it. It's sort of like using a wood scraper, but if you've never used one of those, the technique is you don't want to put any downward pressure. This thing is pretty sharp, so if you put downward pressure, you can actually scrape your fingerboard, which you don't want to do, but it works pretty quickly. So the only pressure you're putting is pinching it on this side, pinching it on this side, and the only pressure is with my pointer fingers pulling it. There's no downward pressure at all. And if you put a little, sort of a slight bend in it, if you can imagine that, then that'll clean that up pretty good, fairly fast. Okay, method two. You're going to use a chemical called acetone, which I believe is the same chemical as propane. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, you can find this at your automotive store, just like a lot of guitar repair stuff, and some blue shop cloth. Okay? Now, you don't want to use too much of it, but you just want to get a little dab on there. So, fold your shop cloth up, put a little dab. You don't want it to be dripping around on your guitar, and then just rub it on, and that'll clean that right up real fast. And then it evaporates very quickly, so you don't have to worry about it soaking in. So the next thing you want to do is oil that fretboard, and the best stuff for that is this stuff here, linseed oil, which again you can get at any hardware store. This whole bottle I think was $10, pretty cheap. It'll last you exactly 175 guitars. Fold up your shop cloth, douse it so you're not spilling any, and you have just one little dot there. That's enough for probably about half of this guitar. Just put a few little dots all along there, and then rub it in. Again, you're not using too much, just rubbing it on there, let it soak in. I won't make you sit through the whole process here, but basically just keep rubbing until you get a nice sheen on there, and then that fretboard will be nice and oiled and protected. You can take off this blue painter's tape here. You don't have to worry about it leaving marks in your guitar as long as it's the blue stuff, and then tune it up, and then you're good to go. So there you go. It's very easy. It takes me about 15 minutes to do one guitar with that acetone, a little bit longer with the scraper, and yeah, it's all things that you can get at your hardware store, automotive store for fairly cheap. Once you buy one of those bottles, it'll last you a long time. The acetone doesn't go bad, so that should last you a lifetime if you're just doing your own guitars. And yeah, stay tuned next week. I'm going to be putting out a free mini course called Foolproof Fretwork. Now, that's going to cover, start to finish, how to level your frets, ground them, deal with fret buzz, and it's specifically designed for people who haven't done it before and want to avoid making mistakes. So if you're watching this in the future, it'll be down below, and if not, stay tuned next week. I'll see you there.